Oh look, it's the other late 90s Italian animated Titanic movie with a bunch of talking animals, including many badly stereotyped talking mice as passengers in addition to the human passengers, which is considered one of the worst films of all time. How in the name of all that is unholy and unrighteous did that happen twice?
Titanic, the legend goes on.
Okay, so this film is basically a speedrun for how many Disney films can be ripped off blatantly all at once. See if this takes your fancy. This girl Angelica is traveling on the Titanic, being treated like a servant by her stepmother and her two ugly stepsisters. And she's hoping to find love, but they're trying to keep her from finding it. Titanic, the Legend Goes On is also known as Titanic, the Animated Movie, and it features so many characters for a 70-minute animated film, by the way. By the way, I watched the full uncut version in cinema. It was like under 60 minutes. That was all that they found, like, that was actually releasable. But this version was like 75 minutes or so. It is about a lot of things. There are so many characters, honestly, dear lord. Apart from the main lady and the man that she randomly finds and falls in love with, it's unclear exactly what his kind of station is. He's in first class, certainly. There is also a thief who's this old, like really wretched, evil old lady who has two helpers who she bosses around a lot. One of them is tall and skinny, one of them is small and fat. Yep. And there is also a rich lady who owns these two Dalmatians, one of whom is about to have a bunch of puppies. And then there's the mice who are traveling to America, and at one stage, the little kid mouse loses his dad and starts screaming, "Papa! Pop!" I swear to God, it's real. And all of that somehow is surpassed by the sheer horror of the rapping dog sequence. I don't know what else to say about it. It is obviously as bad as you think it is. It is considered widely, even on its Wikipedia page it says it's considered widely one of the worst films of all time. It probably is the single worst animation in a film I've ever seen. Not the worst animated film I've ever seen, but it's the worst animation I've ever seen. So many of the shots are just repeated over and over again. Oh, just over and over again. There are moments where even the characters are just repeating the same lines, and it goes away and then comes back to them and he's like, no, 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 you cannot do this. And then it goes to the other person who says something and then he's like, no, 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 you cannot do this. It happens a lot. I mean, there's times when mouths don't move as they speak. There are an endless number of janky animation moments that look awful. It is always hard to look at, but sometimes my brain was just begging me to, like, not stare directly at these images. Isn't it incredible that an entire generation of Italian children might have grown up not even understanding that people, like, died on the Titanic because both of these films released around the same time? Oh, it is mad. I mean, that is assuming that actually, like, these films were in any way popular in Italy. More popular than they were anywhere else. It's a bold stretch. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is, this does have things, I guess, happening in terms of story. They are rough at times. Yeah, all the time, actually. I do think, if I'm comparing them directly, because it's the only film I can bear to compare this to, that this is probably better than the other animated Titanic film. I mean, the rapping dog is an atrocity, but at least he doesn't hold the Titanic together so everyone could get off, like the giant talking simple-minded octopus did in the other one. Like, there are still levels to these atrocities, and I do think this is probably the better of the two, but it does have worse animation, unquestionably. Like, it's nasty. If I was trying to find a positive, I would say at least the finale of this film is based around the Titanic going down and people, like, trying to get off alive, you know? Like, that is at least something of a positive, because the other films, it wasn't really about that. It's still so bad, so many just atrocities, especially in, like, that finale where it's just jumping about trying to finish off all these things. That is rough, and it focuses so much time on the talking mice that you just really wish they wouldn't. Not that the human, like, scenes are much better, but they draw the humans, like, well, a little more believable in the draw mice. Not much, honestly. Yeah, it's just atrocity after atrocity. It's a blitzkrieg of horrors. The music is something that really bugged the hell out of me, and that same shot of the Titanic just steaming through the water, used like 10 different times in the film, really annoying. It's not the worst film I've ever seen. It is, I think, the second worst animated film I've ever seen, only surpassed by the other animated Titanic film made around the same time. And I'm giving, maybe we'll get lucky and Italy will sink into the water next, half a star. I'm not even done, because the other Titanic one, the one that I actually like less than this, has a sequel. How do these keep getting made? How does this keep happening? Just, if you are young, don't grow up to do this.